Consistency feels boring to most people because it offers no immediate reward. There is no rush, no applause, no visible proof in the beginning. The mind craves novelty, intensity, and fast feedback, but consistency gives none of that. It asks you to show up when nothing changes, when progress feels invisible, and when motivation has already faded. This is exactly why most people abandon it early. They mistake boredom for failure, silence for stagnation, and repetition for lack of growth. But what they fail to understand is that boredom is often the first sign that you are no longer being distracted. When the noise disappears, what remains is the work itself, and that is where real change begins. The brain is not designed to enjoy long-term effort without reward. It is wired to chase short-term relief and emotional stimulation. This is why starting something new feels exciting, but maintaining it feels dull. The early phase is fueled by emotion, hope, and imagination. The middle phase is fueled by nothing but discipline. No one talks about this phase because it doesn't look impressive from the outside. There are no dramatic breakthroughs, only small, almost unnoticeable improvements. And yet, this is the phase where foundations are built. People quit here not because consistency doesn't work, but because it doesn't entertain them. What most people call motivation is unreliable. It rises and falls depending on mood, environment, and external validation. Consistency, on the other hand, does not depend on how you feel. It operates quietly, without emotion, without negotiation. This is why it feels uncomfortable. It removes excuses. It exposes patterns. It forces you to confront who you are when no one is watching. Over time, consistency reshapes identity. You stop asking whether you feel like doing the work, because the work becomes part of who you are. This shift is subtle, but once it happens, quitting no longer feels natural. There is a common illusion that progress should feel exciting. Social media reinforces this idea by showcasing highlights, sudden wins, and visible success. What it hides is the repetition behind every result. The same actions performed daily, long before anyone cared. Consistency doesn't look powerful in the moment, but it compounds quietly. Each small effort stacks on top of the previous one, even when the results are delayed. This delay is intentional. It filters out those who seek quick validation from those willing to build something real. When consistency becomes boring, most people interpret it as a sign to change direction. They switch strategies, start over, or search for something more stimulating. In reality, boredom often means you are finally doing the right thing long enough for it to work. The absence of excitement is not a warning. It is stability. It means the process no longer depends on emotion. This is where progress accelerates, even if you can't see it yet. What feels uneventful on the surface is often intense growth beneath it. Eventually, consistency stops feeling like effort and starts feeling like alignment. You no longer need external pressure or constant reminders. The routine becomes familiar, almost automatic. This is when discipline turns into identity. You don't think of yourself as someone trying to improve. You see yourself as someone who simply does what needs to be done. The work continues, not because it's exciting, but because it's necessary, and necessity doesn't require motivation. This is why consistency always wins, even though it rarely gets attention. It outlasts talent without discipline. It outperforms intensity without structure. It survives moments of doubt, fatigue, and silence. While others restart, hesitate, or wait for the right moment, consistency keeps moving forward at the same pace, quietly, relentlessly. Over time, this pace becomes unstoppable. If consistency feels boring to you right now, that is not a sign to stop. It is a sign to continue. You are likely closer than you think. Most people quit just before consistency begins to work in their favor. They leave at the exact point where results are about to compound. Staying through this phase is what separates those who talk about potential from those who live it. Silence, repetition, and patience are not weaknesses. They are tools. In the end, consistency doesn't change your life loudly. It does it quietly, without announcements, without proof at first. One day you look back and realize that what once felt boring built everything you now rely on. Not because it was exciting, but because you stayed when it wasn't. Most people never experience what consistency truly does, because they never stay long enough to feel its effect. They touch it briefly, test it for a few days or weeks, and then abandon it when life interrupts their routine. What they don't realize is that interruption is not failure. Interruption is part of the process. Consistency is not about perfection. It is about returning, again and again, even after breaks, even after doubt, even after silence. The people who succeed are not those who never stop. They are the ones who always come back. There is a quiet strength in repetition that the modern world no longer respects. Repetition doesn't feel intelligent. It doesn't feel creative. It doesn't feel special. And yet it is repetition that trains the mind to stay steady when emotions fluctuate. When you repeat the same disciplined action long enough, resistance fades. The mind stops negotiating. What once required effort becomes familiar. Familiarity is not stagnation. Familiarity is mastery in its early form. Boredom often appears right before consistency begins to compound. This is the moment when improvement is no longer dramatic, but structural. You are no longer changing what you do. You are changing how you exist within the process. This is why boredom feels uncomfortable. It removes stimulation and leaves you alone with yourself. Many people escape at this stage, not because the process failed, but because they are no longer entertained by it. Consistency teaches patience in a world addicted to speed. It forces you to operate without immediate confirmation. No applause, no reassurance, just action repeated in silence. This silence is not empty. It is where self-trust is built. Every time you act without external reward, you reinforce an internal agreement that you will do what you said you would do, regardless of how it feels. This agreement is the foundation of confidence. Confidence born from consistency is different from confidence fueled by praise. It does not need protection. It does not seek validation. It remains steady even when results are delayed. This is why quiet people often appear grounded. They are not calm because life is easy. They are calm because they have learned to trust their process, and trust removes urgency. Many people chase intensity because they believe intensity equals progress. They push harder, move faster, and burn out repeatedly. Consistency chooses a different path. It accepts slower movement in exchange for longevity. It favors sustainability over excitement. This choice looks unimpressive at first, but it creates an advantage over time. While intensity collapses under pressure, consistency adapts and continues. At some point, consistency stops being something you practice and becomes something you protect. You organize your life around it. You say no to distractions without resentment. You remove friction instead of adding force. This shift marks a deeper level of discipline. You are no longer fighting yourself. You are cooperating with the version of you that wants to last. The irony is that when consistency finally produces visible results, it no longer feels exciting. It feels normal. The work that once felt heavy now feels expected. And that is the moment people misunderstand. They think they have plateaued. In reality, they have stabilized at a higher level. What once required effort now requires presence. This is not boredom. This is integration. Consistency does not promise dramatic change overnight. It promises something more valuable: reliability. When you become reliable to yourself, decision-making simplifies. You stop questioning whether you should act and start focusing on how well you act. Energy, once wasted on hesitation, becomes available for refinement. This is how progress accelerates quietly. If you are in a phase where consistency feels dull, repetitive, or uninspiring, understand this clearly. You are not behind, you are not failing, you are not missing something better. You are standing in the exact place where growth becomes permanent. Most people never stay here long enough to find out what happens next. Staying is the skill, not motivation, not intensity, not talent. Staying when nothing is happening. Staying when no one notices. Staying when results are delayed. This is the discipline that changes outcomes, and it does so quietly, without announcement, without permission. One day, consistency will no longer feel boring. It will feel inevitable. And when that happens, you will realize that what once felt ordinary was the most powerful decision you ever repeated. Most people underestimate how much energy is wasted resisting consistency. The constant search for something new, something better, something faster consumes far more effort than steady repetition ever could. When you commit to consistency, you eliminate countless internal debates. You stop asking what to do next and start focusing on doing what already works. This reduction of mental noise is not boring, it is freeing. It creates space for clarity, precision, and calm execution. Consistency also changes how you experience time. When you are inconsistent, time feels urgent and stressful. Every delay feels dangerous. Every pause feels like failure. But consistency stretches your perspective. It reminds you that progress is not fragile. Missing a day does not erase months of effort. One quiet setback does not cancel a disciplined pattern. This understanding removes panic and replaces it with patience, and patience sharpens judgment. There is a moment when consistency reveals its deepest lesson: control. Not control over outcomes, but control over response. You stop reacting emotionally to small wins or small losses. You remain steady regardless of fluctuation. This emotional neutrality is rare, and it is powerful. It allows you to move through uncertainty without rushing, and through success without distraction. This is where consistency begins to protect you from extremes. In a world obsessed with expression, consistency teaches restraint. It teaches you to act without broadcasting, to improve without explanation, and to progress without performance. This quiet approach often goes unnoticed, but it compounds faster than noise. While others explain, justify, and announce, consistency keeps moving. And movement, not intention, shapes reality. Eventually, you realize that consistency is not about forcing yourself to do more. It is about removing what prevents you from doing less of what matters. Fewer distractions, fewer emotional swings, fewer unnecessary decisions. What remains is a simple rhythm you can sustain. This rhythm does not demand excitement. It demands presence. And presence, practiced daily, becomes strength. If you continue when it feels uneventful, you are doing something most people never master. You are building a life that does not depend on mood, noise, or external pressure. You are becoming predictable to yourself, and that predictability is power. Because when you can rely on yourself, uncertainty loses its grip. Consistency will not announce when it starts working. There is no signal, no milestone, no sudden shift. One day you simply notice that what once felt difficult no longer does, that you move with less resistance, that decisions feel clearer, that doubt feels quieter. This is how consistency wins, not dramatically but permanently.